Good morning, Year 4. I hope you're all well. This week in maths, we're going to be looking all about dividing numbers. Now, today we're going to be specifically looking at dividing two-digit numbers by one-digit numbers. You have your daily fluency here to start with, so if you spend around about 3 minutes on this, pause the video here and make a start, please. Okay, so number 1, 218 multiplied by 3. We can use our knowledge of the written method of multiplication from last week to work this out, finding the answer of 654. Number 2, 50 multiplied by 7. Well, if we know that 5 multiplied by 7 is 35, we can multiply 35 by 10, giving us 350. Number 3, 1 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 7. Now you could group this by grouping 1 and 8 first of all, or 7 and 1, or you could have a look at 8 and 7 to start with. Now if we were doing it 1 multiplied by 8, that gives us 8, and then we are looking at 8 multiplied by 7, giving us the answer of 56. Number 4 then, we could use the compensation method to work this out, where we take away 1 from each of the values. So 8,000 take away 1 would be 799, subtract 119, which would make it a bit easier to deal with if you're doing the column subtraction method for this one. That gives us the answer of 7,880. Finally then, number 5, 312 multiplied by 7, exactly the same as number 1 for these daily fluency questions. You can use our knowledge from last week to work out the answer of 2,184. Okay, so here Rosie has 12 counters. She wants to use her division knowledge and split them between 3 different groups. She's going to put 1 counter in each box to start with, and then she knows that she still needs to keep filling these boxes one at a time because she still has counters left over. So that's exactly what she's going to do until all the counters are gone. Now she can see that how many counters are in each box here for? 4, absolutely. So Rosie has just worked out 12. She had 12 counters. She has divided them by 3 boxes, and she has found out that there are 4 counters in each box. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now Tiny the Turtle has some counters too, and he's going to do the same, where he's going to put 1 counter in each box and then keep doing this until all the counters are gone and all the boxes are filled with the same amount of counters in each box. Do you think that Tiny has done this correctly? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, I've got some shakes of the head, but I may have some nods too. Let's find out then. Well, Tiny has said there are 4 counters in each group. That's right, there are an equal amount of counters in each group. But the counters all have different values. So we can see here that we've got 2 10s in this box, but we've got no 10s in this box, which means they're not the same value. For it to be a correct division method, the value of each group must be equal to, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So using the same counters, we're going to work out how many he has altogether. So how many 10s can you see here, Year 4? 3 10s, absolutely. And how many 1s can you see? 9 1s. Fantastic. Now Tiny has 39 counters. He wants to divide them by 3. He's going to use a place value chart to help him work it out. Now we know that we've got the place value chart correct because our divisor is 3. The number that we are dividing by is 3. And we also have 3 rows to show this too. Now when we are dividing, we always start with our largest amount. So our largest amount here are our tens column. Now if we had hundreds, if we had a 3-digit number and we had hundreds, we would start with our hundreds. Unlike multiplication, where we always start with our ones, in division we start with our largest amount. So we're going to start by putting 1 10 in each box until all of the 10s are gone, and we are happy with that. Are we happy that all the 10s are gone? Right, so now we're going to start with putting 1 1 in each box until all of the 1s are filled. So we can see here we've used all of our counters and our place value chart is looking very even. We've got the same amount in each of our rows. So we can start thinking, how many 10s have I got in my first row and how many 1s have I got? Oh, I've got 1 10 and 3 1s, and I'm going to check that I've got that in my second row and my third row, and then I can figure out that my answer has 1 10 and 3 1s, which is 13. So 39 divided by 3 is 13. Can you have a go? Pause the video and see if you can use a place value chart to work out the answer to this division, please. Pause the video and off you go. Okay, so you will find out that this time we have a divisor of 4, which means we need 4 different rows, okay, to show that we are dividing by 4. Do we start with our tens or do we start with our ones? Tens, well done. So we're going to start by putting 1 10 in each of the boxes. And we can now see that we've used all of our tens. We don't have any left over. We have 2 tens in each row. So now we can pop our ones in each box, and we can see that we have 1 1 in each box. We can then count one of our rows, so we have 2 tens and 1 1, which is the same as 21. So 84 divided by 4 is 21. Well done if you got that right. I want us to have a look at this one here, and we're going to use base 10 to work this one out now. So I want you to see what's different about this one, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to start with our tens, and we're going to put 1 base 10 in each of the boxes. And then we've got 1 left over, so we're going to put that in another box. I can see you saying, no, Miss Newman, we don't do that because we don't have the same amount in each box. You're right. What do we do with this leftover 10? What do you think? We could exchange it for 10 ones, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So here now we have got 12 ones, and we need to put all these ones in our boxes. We need to make sure they're equal though. So we're going to start by putting our ones in until all of them are gone. So now we can see that in each of our rows we have 1 10 and 4 ones, which is the same as 14. So remember, if we have any tens left over, we can exchange them for ones exactly how we did with multiplication. Well done. What I would like you to do is pause the video here and have a think. How would you do this one? Pause the video and have a go, please. Okay, so what we can do using our base 10, we've got our chart here, and we know that because our divisor is 4, that we need 4 different rows. We're going to start by putting our tens in each of the boxes until we think we have used as many tens as we can. So at the moment we've got 1 10 in each box, and we know that we can still add more tens, we've still got more left over. We've got 1 10 left over. What can we exchange 1 10 for? 10 ones, absolutely. So we now have 16 ones that can be divided equally into our 4 boxes. So we're going to do that now. And when you're happy that all of the ones have been used, we can now begin to count our row. So we know in each row we have 2 tens and 4 ones, which is the same as 24. Okay, this one's a bit different. I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at this one, please. Off you go. Alright, so we know that we've got 51 divided by 3. Our divisor is 3, so we have 3 rows to show this. We are going to start with our tens. We're going to put 1 10 in each box. But we can see we have 2 tens left over. Now, can we use these in our tens column? No, we can't, because we need 3 to make it even and equal amount in each box. Now we know that we can exchange 1 10 for 1 ones, but we can also exchange another 10 for 1 ones. So now we have 21 ones to split between 3 boxes. Now we already know, looking at our times table knowledge, that 21 divided by 3 is 7. Now we can check this by having a look to see if we have got 7 ones in each box, because then we know we've split it correctly. We can see we've got 1 10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones in each row. So 51 divided by 3 is 17. Well done if you got that one right. Now it's your turn to have a go at the questions 1 to 4 on the worksheet. So pause the video here and have a go at these, please. Okay, so we're going to use 2 of the division sums that we looked at earlier, 39 divided by 3 and 42 divided by 3. Now we have already worked out the answers to these by using our place value counters and our place value chart, but I'm going to show you now we could also use a part-whole model to do this. So here we have the part-whole model for 39. We know that we can partition the number 39 in its tens and ones. It has 3 tens, which is 30, and 9 ones, which is 9. We can then look at our divisor. We know our divisor in this case is 3, and we can divide each of our numbers by 3. And we know that 30 divided by 3 is 10, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. What we can then do is add them together to get our answer of 13. Another example here, we have the number 42. Now, yes, we could partition the number into 40 and 2, but is 40 can 40 be divided by 3? No, it can't. So we have to partition the number in a different way. Now, we've tried 40 and 2 and that doesn't work. It can't be divided. But what we do know is that 30 can be divided by 3. So we can use the number 30 and then we can figure out what do we add to 30 to get to 42? Well, we add 12. So 30 and 12 add together to make 42 and they are both divisible by 3. Now 30 divided by 3 is 10, we know, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we can add them together to get 14. What I would like you to do now is pause the video and have a think. How would you partition both of these numbers to work out the answers? Pause the video and have a think, please. Okay, so the number 51, we already know that 30 is divisible by 3. So what we can do, we can have 30 as one of our numbers. And then we have to think, what number is the missing number to add to 30 to get to 51? Oh, well, we know that we're missing 2 10s. 3 add 2 is 5. And we are missing 1 1, so that's 21. We can divide both of these by 3 because 30 divided by 3 is 10. And 21 divided by 3 is what, please? Fantastic, it's 7. And then we add the final two numbers together and the answer is 17. Here we have the number 96. Now because the number 96 is such a big number, we can partition it 3 ways. We can start by thinking, well, what's an easy number that 4 goes into? Well, we know 4 goes into the number 40 10 times. So we can think, right, we have 140 and we're not really close to 96 yet, so we can have another 40. 40 add 40 is what, please? 80. And then how do we get from 80 to 96? Fantastic, we add 16. So these could be our 3 partitions. We can then divide each of these numbers by 4. 40 divided by 4 is 10, we know that. What is 16 divided by 4? How many 4s are in 16? Fantastic, 4. We can also add these all together. 10 add 10 is 20 and 20 add 4 is 24. But we could partition it another way, 80 and 16. The reason that we split it into 2 40s is to make it easier and more manageable, but you could also, if you're really confident with your 4s, realise that 8 divided by 4 is 2, and you can add the 0 on. So 80 divided by 4 is 20, and we know that 16 divided by 4 is 4, and 20 add 4 is 24. Now we're going to look at these problem-solving questions just before we finish for today. So Leslie has a certain amount of empty party bags. Her 5 children fill an equal number of party bags with toys, and we want to know how many party bags does each child fill. First of all, we need to count how many party bags she has. So pause video and count, please. Okay, so you would have worked out that she has 55 party bags. Now, because she has 5 children that fill an equal number of party bags with toys, we know our division is 55 divided by 5. Can you have a think? What is 55 divided by 5? Pause the video. So 55 divided by 5 is 11. So she must fill 11 bags because 55 divided by 5 is 11. Final one here, then we're going to use the clues to work out Edgar's number. So Edgar says, I'm thinking of a number. When I divide my number by 3, I get the answer 22. What is my number? Now we can start by writing this out using the numbers that we do know. So we know that we could write this out, excuse my poor handwriting using a mouse. We know that something divided by 3 gives us the answer of 22. Now Edgar's already told us this information, but we're just laying it out in a way that we know. And we know, don't we, Year 4, from our knowledge of inverse, that to find an unknown answer when we already have the other answer, we can use our inverse method. So what is the inverse to dividing? Multiplying. So what we could do, we could switch this sum around and actually think 22 multiplied by 3 gives me this missing answer. What is 22 multiplied by 3? Pause the video and have a think. Well done. 22 multiplied by 3 is 66. So 66 must be his number because 66 divided by 3 is 22. Great listening today, Year 4. Really, really excited to see all your wonderful work all about dividing numbers today. Send it into the office when you've done, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in our next video. Bye, Year 4.